All right, picture yourself walking down the aisle of your local supermarket, or maybe you're just scrolling through your favorite online store. Think about the numbers hovering right beneath every single item. It's a sea of nines, isn't it? 99 cents, $9.99, $999. We are completely surrounded by these numbers, so much so that we become almost entirely numb to them. We think it's just a coincidence. Actually, scratch that. It's absolutely not a coincidence. It is an incredibly deliberate, highly engineered illusion. So in this explainer of modern pricing mechanics, we're going on a deep, cinematic investigation into the hidden psychological machinery behind the everyday price tag.
Let's start this off with a really simple thought experiment. If I offered you two completely identical products right side by side, one costs exactly $10 and the other costs $9.99, which one are you going to buy? Logically, rationally, you know they are virtually the exact same thing, yet almost everyone subconsciously leans toward the $9.99 option. It just feels infinitely cheaper, doesn't it? It feels like a substantially better deal, and it creates far less friction in your mind.
And what is the actual difference driving that gut feeling? 1 single cent. A denomination so incredibly obsolete that it actually costs the government nearly 3 cents just to manufacture a single penny. Think about it. If you found a penny on the street today, you probably wouldn't even bother bending down to pick it up. Mathematically speaking, this minuscule difference shouldn't be anywhere near enough to sway the decision-making process of a rational adult. And yet, this tiny fraction of a dollar is literally the entire foundational architecture of today's mystery.
Because here's the thing. When you take that single, seemingly insignificant penny and you multiply it by millions of consumers making millions of decisions every single day over decades, you are no longer looking at small change. You are looking at a calculated psychological strategy that has systematically generated billions of dollars in corporate revenue. That 1 cent discount is, without a doubt, one of the most lucrative, perfectly disguised business strategies ever devised.
So where did this all begin? Let's kick things off with Section 1, the birth of charm pricing. How exactly did we get here? Because the fact that $0.99 is everywhere in our economy is absolutely not an accident. Economists call this charm pricing, and its roots run deep into the history of modern commerce. It was actually born out of a really fascinating mix of loss prevention and the early days of consumer psychology. To understand this, we have to rewind all the way back to the late 19th century. Picture a busy 1800s shopkeeper who is dealing with a very real, very annoying problem: corrupt clerks. A prominent theory suggests that odd pricing actually began with the invention of the mechanical cash register. By pricing an item at 99 cents instead of a clean round dollar, store owners forced their clerks to physically open the register to hand back a penny and change. This simple forced act rang the cash register bell, which acted like an audible anti-theft alarm and officially recorded the sale. It stopped a dishonest employee from just quietly pocketing a clean dollar bill without anyone noticing. But as the decades rolled on, the purpose shifted entirely. Retailers started to notice something strange. Decades of psychological research began to reveal a stunning reality. A price of $9.99 dramatically outperformed $10. Store owners realized this wasn't just about stopping petty theft anymore. It was a powerful key to unlocking human behavior. The idea spread like wildfire, and global retail adoption was swift, aggressive, and permanent. Okay, let's dive right into the science with Section 2, the left-digit bias.
To truly grasp how this works, we need to look at the hard cognitive neuroscience that makes our brains so easily trickable. We like to think of ourselves as hyperlogical creatures, perfectly capable of reading numbers and accurately evaluating worth. But our biology tells a much different story. It exposes a profound cognitive vulnerability known as the left-digit bias. See, our brains are incredibly powerful, sure, but they are also highly efficient machines that absolutely love taking shortcuts to save energy. When we evaluate a number in the Western world, our eyes naturally scan from left to right. Because of this, the brain automatically anchors to the very first digit it encounters. It uses that first digit to instantly categorize the size and value of the entire number, often before your eyes have even finished processing the digits that follow. It creates a massive neurological loophole that businesses can and do actively exploit.
And this brilliantly illustrates how it manifests right at the point of sale. Think about these two figures side by side. When your eyes hit the $9.99, that cognitive shortcut kicks in immediately. The leftmost digit is a 9, so your subconscious instantly translates and files this away as a $9 item. We almost completely ignore the 99 cents trailing lie behind it. Now, compare that to the $10. The left digit changes to a 1, which pushes the entire number into a totally new psychological tier, the double digits. The physical distance between the two prices is exactly 1 cent. But the psychological distance? It's an incredibly wide canyon.
Moving on, let's see how the big players use this in Section 3, the corporate playbook. Once big business realized that human biology featured this built-in vulnerability, they didn't just casually use it, they institutionalized it entirely. Shift your focus to the massive corporate scale. The apex predators of retail built their entire pricing infrastructure around exploiting this exact psychological loophole. We are talking about the absolute titans of industry here: Walmart, Amazon, Costco, every major supermarket and fast food chain on the planet. These organizations possess more consumer data than anyone in human history. They are ruthlessly data-driven, A/B testing billions of data points every single hour of every single day. Let's be real. If clean, round numbers performed better, Amazon's master algorithm would switch their entire global inventory to round numbers by tomorrow morning. But they don't. They systematically deploy the 0.99 tactic across millions of daily transactions because it mathematically guarantees an increase in sales volume. It forces a higher conversion rate. It's a fundamental, unshakable law of their corporate playbook. Let's move to Section 4 and see how this builds into the fast-paced action of making a purchase. The psychology behind buying. We've talked about the math and the history, but now we really need to look at the subconscious mechanics of an impulse purchase. What does this actually feel like in your mind when you're standing in an aisle, right at that critical moment you put an item in your shopping cart? Well, the act of emotional buying follows a very precise micronarrative. It functions almost exactly like a psychological trap being sprung. Step 1. You encounter the initial price anchor. Your eyes hit that left digit, setting the baseline expectation incredibly low. Step 2. The perceived discount calculation. Even if an item has literally never been on sale, the 0.99 visually mimics the aesthetic of a markdown. It looks like a price that's been precisely calculated to be as aggressively low as possible. Step 3. Value perception confirmation. Your brain rapidly concludes, I am getting a bargain. The friction of parting with your hard-earned cash is artificially smoothed over, which instantly leads us to Step 4, the emotional impulse purchase. Logic takes a complete backseat, the emotional thrill of securing a deal takes over the steering wheel, and boom, the transaction is complete. And the crazy part, all of this is happening in a fraction of a second.
But what about today? Let's check out Section 5, AI and modern pricing. This raises a really fascinating philosophical question. We live in the future now, right? We live in an era of supercomputers in our pockets and price comparison browser extensions that track every single cent. We are arguably the most highly informed consumers in human history. So does this decades-old, almost analog pricing trick still work today in an era of hyper-digital shopping? Well, the truth is, modern technology hasn't abandoned charm pricing at all. It has weaponized it. Look at the modern data. Scientific consumer behavior studies continually confirm its effectiveness hasn't dropped a single bit. Online shopping platforms have it highly integrated into their core architecture. And most tellingly, advanced AI and dynamic pricing models, algorithms designed to adjust prices thousands of times a day based on real-time global demand, aggressively enforce the 0.99 rule. A machine learning model might decide a product's true market value has dropped from $15 to $14.50, but it will automatically round that figure down to $14.99. Why? Because the machines have analyzed the data and learned exactly what those early shopkeepers learned. Human psychology does not change. So the crucial point is this: it is not cheaper. It is entirely about how your brain makes decisions. When you look at a price tag that falls just shy of a round number, you need to deeply realize that you are interacting with a highly tuned system designed to perfectly bypass your logical defenses. Products aren't priced at $9.99 as a polite favor to your wallet. They are priced that way because massive corporations deeply understand the biological shortcuts of human decision-making, and they are leveraging them against you at incredible scale. Which brings us to our final conclusion for this explainer. The curtain has been totally pulled back. The invisible mechanics of the retail world have been thoroughly exposed. So, as you go about your life, whether you're buying a morning coffee, a car, or a brand new piece of tech, the next time you see $9.99, you'll know you're looking at psychology, not pricing. But it leaves us with one final, unsettling question to ask yourself the next time you're standing at the checkout counter. Are you really the one making the choice to buy? Or did the price tag make it for you?